measuring your field for better planning and practices. In farming, field size is the most fundamental measurement because it guides almost all the activities that happen on the farm. From charges by manual laborers or tractor operators to the amount of yield expected after harvest, the size of your field plays a very key role. Sadly, however, most farmers cannot accurately tell the size of their farms, and this negatively affects their farming operations either due to underestimation or overestimation of the size of the fields. In this message, we are going to talk about the ways to measure the size of your field and how that knowledge can greatly improve your farming operations and activities. The easiest way of measuring the size of your field is by using a device equipped with GPS technology. With this device, all you have to do is take a reading or press a button at the starting point of your field and walk all the way around your field back to the point you began. After returning to that point, you then press another button to stop reading. The device will then calculate the size and display it boldly on the screen of your device for you to read and record. Even though this method is highly effective and gives you a very accurate measure, GPS devices can be very expensive and hard to come by at the village. This means that farmers have to come up with a more innovative way of knowing the size of their fields. For the easiest way to do this, you will need a few items. Get some pegs or sticks and a long rope. Now begin at the shorter side of your field. Stand at one corner and mount a peg. Now move to the other end of that same side and mount another peg. If your rope is long enough to reach one peg from another, tie them and measure the length of the rope it took from one peg to the other. Note down this distance. However, if your rope is not long enough, you will need to measure a fixed length. Tie it at one end with a peg and keep moving the pegs until the length of the side is exhausted. Now you can get the full length of this side by measuring the length of the rope you used and the number of times you moved the pegs to exhaust the distance. Now multiply these two figures and you will get the length of this side. Now that you have the distance for one side of your field, you need to get the distances for the other three sides of your field. Do this the same way. Remember, do not move the peg at the corners of the side you have just finished measuring. With those same pegs, use them as the starting points. Move the pegs along these other sides the same way you did it for the first side. As you move these pegs around, try not to lose count. At the end of each side, obtain the distance covered by multiplying the number of times you move the pegs by the length of the ropes tying the pegs together. These will give you the lengths or distances of each side. After completing this for all sides of your field, you can now give these figures to your CEA to calculate the size of your field in acres for you. With the accurate measurement of the size of your field, you can now carry out your farm operations better. For example, if the size of your field is actually 3 acres and not the 5 acres you previously thought it was, you will be able to manage your money better by paying your tractor service operator the amount for 3 acres and not for 5. This way, you would have saved the cost of the additional 2 acres and then reinvest it in other areas of your farming. Knowing the right size of your field will also help you to know how much seed to purchase for planting. For cowpea, groundnut, and soybean, you will need about 16 kilograms per acre for good seeding Equipped with accurate information on the size of your field, you can now purchase the right quantity of seed for your field, use the recommended planting distances, and be able to achieve the optimum planting density or population. Knowing the right size of your field also helps you to better estimate the harvest you should be getting from your farm. For example, in northern Ghana, the potential yield per acre of groundnut is 10 to 12 bags, cowpea is 20 to 25 bags, and soybean is 16 to 18 bags. That of maize is 18 to 22 bags. By knowing the accurate measurement of your field, you will know whether you are getting the most from your field or not. By underestimating the size of your field, you might think you are getting good yields, which might not be the case if you knew the correct field size. Remember, knowing the size of your field is very important and can help improve your farming operations considerably. Follow the above guidelines and work with your CEA to know the size of your fields for better farming practices and planning. Thank you.